Welcome to One Little Spice, the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the taste lab.
Welcome to episode 18, the 4-hour brunch. A 4-hour brunch, a 4-hour brunch. The Skipper and Marianne here at California Grill. I'm Julie.
And I'm Amy.
With Harrison and Jerry.
We'll get to who Harrison and Jerry are.
A 3-hour tour. The 4-hour brunch. Yo, it's time for Amy's Daily Dish. Amy, what's your dish?
Let's dish.
Do you remember the first time that I did that and you didn't know I was going to rap?
And I was in hysterics.
Yes. I said,
Yes.
I have an intro, Amy.
And I was like, I don't want to hear it. I just want to be surprised. And that's what happened.
And she was surprised.
Item 1. Mickey's birthday is coming up and people are noticing.
He is going to be 90.
I know, it's crazy.
90. The
Very-
mouse, it ain't no spring chicken anymore.
So Ample Hills Creamery on the boardwalk is getting the celebration started early with 3 new Mickey-themed ice cream flavors. We have the Triple Chocolate Surprise, celebrating the early black and white Mickey Mouse. It features a chocolate malted ice cream base, chocolate fudge cake, ribbons of dark chocolate buttercream frosting. I'm not sure how I feel about frozen buttercream.
Yeah, because frozen butter.
Cream.
Ouch. But,
Yeah.
frozen, buttercream is, mainly...
It's a lot of butter. We're
so it's
clearly
going to
gonna have
harden a lot when it's frozen and probably not soften up as much as ice cream.
Yeah, we're clearly going to have to try one of these flavors just to find out what the frozen buttercream situation is. And white chocolate pieces filled with fudge in the image of Mickey Mouse's head. Not just little Mickey Mouse head, classic ears and a head shape, but they have eyes and mouths and nose and other features. Clearly they have ears because that's part of his head. Next we have the Confetti Celebration ice cream featuring sweet cream ice cream, confetti cake, ribbons of yellow buttercream frosting. There's frozen buttercream again. I'm liking it less and less as I talk about it. It just, I'm sure it's not actual buttercream. I'm sure it's just something
I'd understand if it was a Cold Stone and it was being mixed in after.
Yeah.
But if they're making the ice cream with it, it just seems like that's going to be... Although fudge tends to get really cold and hard, and so does caramel.
But they treat it such a way so that when you scoop it, it's, soft. So it's... I feel like it's going to be something that's buttercream-like,
because even when you put buttercream in the fridge to let it sit, you have to, super whip it to be able to frost something again, and it almost, bends a spoon when you go to...
Yeah, so they've clearly done something to make it scoopable, we'll say. And yellow Mickey-shaped white chocolate pieces filled with lemon cream.
That sounds delicious. I'd almost rather, gummies filled with lemon cream, though, or...
Yeah, but they wouldn't freeze well. They'd have to be, a topping. And even when you put, gummy bears on an ice cream, it just doesn't... It's gonna get hard.
Well, they could make fancy gummies like they're apparently making fancy buttercream.
That's an excellent point. So this one is supposed to be Sorcerer Mickey themed, I read. Though I'm not sure I see the connection, as the container art is showing a post-Fantasia Mickey. So he's got, the face where we know now that showed up initially in Fantasia, and he's doing magic. But he and Minnie Mouse are in, 1950s era street clothes for them.
And I mean, it looks like he's doing magic.
But he's got a wand. Yeah, he's got the wand. But I don't know how that's Sorcerer Mickey. But I am not questioning.
Perhaps he ran away with the Sorcerer's Wand.
That is true.
Post Fantasia.
They are doing magic though. So finally, we have the Peanut Butter Jamboree, which features vanilla bean ice cream, strawberry cake, ribbons of peanut butter frosting, which it does not say buttercream. So I feel like it'll be a little.
And I feel like the other ones probably aren't actually frosting.
Yeah,
it's just being marketed that way.
Mickey-shaped peanut butter pieces filled with strawberry jam. There is no theming mentioned for this flavor, but the container art shows a late 80s, early 90s Mickey and Minnie Mouse with a cake-wielding robot. Your guess is as good as mine.
Can I see that?
The flavors are expected to debut on the boardwalk in late September, and you can apparently pre-order a set of the 3 pints, one in each flavor, to be delivered to your home.
I got really excited and read you could pre-order a set of 3 pins.
Oh.
And it's
Sorry.
ice cream.
It's pints. I clicked on the link and it wasn't working yet. I don't know if it was my computer or the link, but, apparently it can. Item 2. The Polynesian Resort's Tambu Lounge is temporarily closed for a few months for refurbishment. There is no reason to fear for the beloved Lapu Lapu, as they have already set up 2 temporary bar areas so you can get them and the other delightful beverages we all love from the Tambu Lounge. The Lapu Lapu, Pina Colada, and Island Sunset, and a selection of Kona beers on draft are available at both locations, both located on the upper floor of the lobby area of the Polynesian Resort. The one near the doors to the monorail opens at 9 a.m. with no specific closing time, but they open at 9 a.m. Its menu also features the Wasabi Bloody Mary. How haven't we tried this, Julie?
How haven't we tried this?
I feel like we've gone to Kona. I feel like you can
So
get it
we
at
were
Kona.
just so excited about
Lapu
the Lapu
Lapu.
Lapu
Yeah.
and our mimosa flight.
And the mimosa flight. So clearly we need to go get one.
Yeah, I'm on board for breakfast at Kona again.
Even if it's just like early morning stop at the Polynesian before the Magic Kingdom. If we don't get a full breakfast, that's fine too. And the mimosa your way, featuring your choice of juices,
including their fancy juice, whose name I cannot remember.
Passion fruit, orange, guava.
Nope, they had a different one that we got. It was some fancy. I'll look it up.
Lila Koi juice. I think pineapple and
orange, cranberry, and grapefruit.
Those ones, yes. The evening location finds itself near the Ohana check-in area, and though I have realized it's just a general seating waiting area, I always used to think it was a loungy area for the Tambu Lounge. So in my mind, this makes sense.
LOL.
I didn't mean to write that. I should not have.
Right.
This evening location opens at 2 p.m. and features the Back Scratcher and the Captain's Mai Tai. No food is available at either location, but there are several places in the Polynesian's main building to get a snack. There is no particular date that the Tambu Lounge is expected to reopen, but it is expected to return to us eventually.
Welcome to September. So this month we are doing breakfasts and brunches. So you get to find out that Amy doesn't actually hate breakfast food.
I don't actually hate breakfast food. I keep saying that. No one believes me.
Well, I mean, for the first couple months, we talked about how you hated breakfast food.
I hate breakfast buffets in general because they're usually uninspired. This one is very inspired.
As is the one we talk about next week, too. So this week we're talking about California Girl Brunch. It's amazing.
It's so amazing.
It's at the top of the Contemporary. It's really hard to get to.
It actually, well, yes.
It is.
You kind of have to go up to go down,
weird.
to go up to go down. It's very strange.
How it works is you go into the Contemporary lobby, and there's an escalator that you have to take up to the first floor. And that's where you check in for the California Grill. Once you check in, then you take an elevator up, and once you get off the elevator, there's a waiter waiting up there to seat you. We had our reservation right at 10 a.m., right when brunch starts. So brunch is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Don't think you can make a reservation at 2 p.m., but I know it continues until then.
Yes, you can stay until 2 p.m. and then they kick you out. We were there till 2 and they weren't kicking us out. But
no.
There were still some people eating.
Yeah,
but they don't proactively serve you. They're just if you still have some food and stuff. So I mean the atmosphere is amazing.
It really is.
It's very classic.
So even just talking about the restaurant itself, not including the views, because the view is the main piece of decor in the restaurant, it is very nice, very classic,
and
very contemporary.
So before you even go upstairs, the sign that they have downstairs for check-in is very California. Yes. I would say it's very reminiscent of Southern California. It's very bright and colorful. The font is very simple, but still has a flair to it. It's fun.
Very much. When you come up into their lobby, It's basically their wine cellar surrounds you. It looks really cool.
It's so awesome. It's like floor to ceiling wines.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I've not seen, well, I'd say it's a wine display basically, but it is a cellar type thing. I have not seen a wine display like this anywhere else.
Wine room.
But it's the lobby of it.
Well, I mean, it's
Or the
still,
check-
like,
the-
they're still, like, in their own little, like, rooms. They're
Yeah.
just, like, you can open the door.
Yeah, but it's just unique. Like, I feel like I've seen more grand wine displays, but this one's very unique
Cool.
and in its own
Very
way. Yeah, very cool.
California-ish.
Yes.
And you walk in, and, like, right there is the bar on the left, and the bar basically wraps around the entire restaurant. Part of it is the buffet section,
Yes.
but it basically wraps around the entire restaurant. You can see the chefs cooking, which is wicked cool. When I went down to get some of the pastries, I also
Yeah, they have the open kitchen concept.
went to go talk to some of the chefs. And was like, it's a pastry chef. These multigrain croissants are so cool. That was the conversation we had.
Sounds about right.
And as you walk in, they hand you your complimentary mimosa drink. Ours was an actual mimosa. Sometimes they change it. I know the last one had like boba pearls in it.
Yeah,
and
this one is blueberry, and it has little of those, not actual boba pearls, but the little like
like
popping
the fruity
bubble.
fruit pop ones.
Yeah, the ones that they put in all the drinks now.
But ours was a classic mimosa, and I'm pretty sure we each had like 6.
Yeah, they're unlimited.
And as long as you don't chug like 4 in 10 minutes,
As-
you actually get them unlimited.
Like, they are slightly watered down, as most mimosas
They're
are gonna
basically
be.
like mostly orange juice. But they were pretty
And they-
decently strong. I think
They did bring us over some
couple strong
a little
ones.
stronger ones,
but
but
we asked for lots of pulp.
yeah, but they don't. I didn't see them cut off anybody, but at the same time, they'll definitely let us get a little tipsy.
Now, what's cool is that they actually have all these mimosas lined up on the bar. So when you
Yes.
walk in, it's just glasses on glasses on glasses. It's so cool.
So you can just grab one and say
Well,
you're
they
going.
hand you one.
Well, they hand you one, but you can also just grab one. I know because I did that. So you are now surrounded by some of the best views in Disney World. You have the Magic Kingdom and beautiful Cinderella's castle and all that.
and the
to your
Seven
right.
Seas Lagoon
And the
straight
seven-
ahead.
Yes.
And then if you look out to the left, you can walk all the way over there.
yes,
There
and
is the
there's
Wilderness Lodge.
Yes, and you can see
They like-
Epcot and Spaceship Earth, and it's wonderful. Especially at night, it's wonderful because you can see Spaceship Earth all
Lit up.
lit up and beautiful. But you're not going to be there at night if you're there for brunch.
I mean, you might be because they ask you to come back for fireworks.
Well, I mean during brunch.
Well, they actually asked us to come back for fireworks
Yes.
that night. The coolest part about us going back for fireworks that night was it was during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party season, and the night we got to see the fireworks were the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party fireworks, and we didn't get to see them when we were there because instead of doing that, we walked outside for our pictures with the Headless Horseman.
Yes.
So it was really awesome to be able to see that because that soundtrack, I'm gonna say this every time we talk about it. They need to make an album of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party music because I need that in my life every day. I would literally listen to that going to work and from work and 24/7.
They also need to release on DVD Totally Mini from the 1980s. That's a little fun note. If you go to the California Grill, not during the fireworks, you can come back and watch the fireworks anyways. They said, we asked them, do we just let them know or do we show them a receipt? They're like, oh yeah, you can show the receipt, but we didn't even need to show the receipt because the woman remembered us.
They remembered us. We're very memorable.
Yes.
They have a jazz band.
Duo or a trio? I think
It's a duo. We literally just talked about the two
yes.
people.
I was just thinking, I'm sorry.
So it is a bassist and a pianist. Their names were Harrison Light and Jerry Bravo. We obviously made friends with them. They were amazing. I will show you a picture, but Harrison's keyboard was black and red.
It was very beautiful.
It was so cool, so incredible. And, we were the only people requesting songs.
Mm-hmm.
We requested lots of songs. They did not know One Little Spark, but said they would learn it for us for the next time we went back.
Yes. So if they're playing One Little Spark, you can thank us.
And it was just so cool. I made friends with them. I have pictures with them.
They played a special song for us.
They did. They played DuckTales for us
Yes.
in jazz form.
It was awesome.
It was so cool. So I talked about how I played upright bass when I was in middle school, and they were super impressed as like a teeny tiny little middle schooler playing this ginormous instrument. So I have pictures of me holding it with both of them, so that was super fun. Yes, so let's start talking about the food, and then we will get back to
the beauty and majesty that is the California Grill.
and the jazz band.
Yes.
So this restaurant, it's actually really funny. The first time Amy went, it was without me. And she kept sending me millions and millions of pictures and was like, this meal was great, but I have to experience this with you.
Yeah.
So we obviously went again. So it's a half buffet, half sit-down meal, half table service meal, where you go up and you get all your appetizers as a buffet. So there's a whole spread of charcuterie.
Actual charcuterie.
Yes, which had orange honey ham, bison and sweetbread terrine, pork belly, roulets, whole grain mustard, some pickles, pickled peppers, and sweet onion jam. They had
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
they
definitely
had sweet drops, didn't they?
Yeah, they had sweetie drop peppers, which are my favorite little peppers. They have a lot more than just what we listed. What we're listing is what's on the online menu at the moment.
Yes, they had way more than this.
And it was definitely a little different the two times that I've been, but pretty much same general concept.
Yep. So they had deviled eggs. They had two different types of deviled eggs.
They were
think.
really tasty.
Or maybe they only had one type of deviled
Here,
eggs,
I
but
have
I'm
the
pretty
deviled
sure it had caviar on it.
Those are, you might be thinking of my deviled eggs.
That might be.
I make really good deviled.
The California roll had real crab in it, though. I made Amy
yeah.
try it. All right, so they had deviled eggs, and the deviled eggs had bacon and some microgreens. It was probably pancetta. It might be bacon. But they were super delicious deviled eggs.
Crispy lardon is what they call it.
We also had Wagyu sausage, Napoli salami. There was a Tillamook cheddar, some mustard seed, Marcona almonds, red onion marmalade, some different types of bread.
Oh, that's it. Okay, so not to side note, but side note.
Some
So
blue cheese.
the photo I took of the charcuterie when I went with Karen, I was like, wow, it's really, really fuzzy. I'm looking at like the screen where it says charcuterie. If you look at the actual food, the food's fine. It's like a computer screen, and it was like changing. It was like mid-change from one image to another, so it looks super blurry.
So it looks like the cheeses were basically the same that Amy had, and then you had bresaola and no Marcona almonds. But it's just a giant spread. It's probably like, I'd say,
40 feet.
what, a 3x5 table?
Oh, yeah. Multi-layered, awesome, like, boards.
Yeah, different levels of food. It was just magical.
It
We'll
really
obviously
was.
post pictures of this because our discussion of it is just...
Yeah. And they have this whole side section of just, like, accompaniments to go with your
I've read about the ones on mine.
charcuterie. I'm just saying that.
And then they have like a quinoa salad and a soba noodle salad.
They have a lot of fun salads.
The bacon and egg salad had the quinoa on it.
They
They had an apple salad that had goat cheese on it.
They had a kale and apple salad that
Yes,
had
that's
dried.
what that is.
Okay, kale and
Oh
apple.
no, this one was spinach apple salad.
Kale and apple with dried cranberries, pink pearl apples, Marcona almonds. That's where the almonds were, and apple vinaigrette.
Oh, mine did not have a list of the ingredients on it.
They don't all of them. It's
That's
weird.
crazy.
They have little wedge salads.
You had wedge salads. We didn't have wedge
Okay,
salads.
well, they sometimes have little wedge salads with bacon and pepper, or no, those aren't peppers, those are tomatoes. But anyways, they look delicious.
And then they had shrimp tempura and a California roll as their sushi rolls. And the California roll was made with real crab, and Amy doesn't like fake crab, so I made her eat them.
Well, of course I was going to eat them. There's just so much on this buffet. They have your fruit and your baked goods that you would normally have at any sort of like breakfast situation, but it's like really nice fruit, really nice baked goods.
An entire block of honeycomb.
Yeah, honeycomb, cheese,
They
yogurts.
have cane sugar cubes.
Yep, they have like almost anything you could possibly imagine, and then some.
They also have a Bloody Mary bar, so that
Yes.
starts the buffet section. You do have to pay for the Bloody Marys. You could pick what type of vodka you want in it. That obviously dictates the price, and then you basically get to add whatever you want to it. So there are
I have a picture.
like pickled onions, carrots, cucumbers, shrimp, other vegetables, and then there's
olives, pickled peppers.
pickles, bacon, the spicy Italian peppers, it
Salami.
looks like some salami, jalapenos,
garlic.
cauliflower, cheese.
Trying to think, see what else is here. Sun-dried tomatoes on a skewer.
You could get shrimp to go on them, but each of them is $1 because they're like the size of your head.
We generally stick with the mimosas because they're included and we can have as many as you want.
And when you're already getting the charcuterie plate and all the appetizers and meals, we didn't need any extra food. We didn't want to fill up on the Bloody Mary.
Correct. We had plenty of food in front of us. When I went with my cousin, I had the waiter bring me another mimosa when she was in the bathroom, so she wouldn't know. Sorry, Karen, you know now.
Sneaky. Oh, and there were some goat cheese stuffed peppadews.
I love papadoo peppers. Papadoo peppers are just so amazing, filled with goat cheese, and then like a nice drizzle of balsamic vinegar. It's really good. Yeah, I'm looking at this plate, and I just want it again.
I want it so bad. I want prosciutto. I want everything.
A couple weeks ago was my anniversary with my boyfriend, and we were trying to figure out where we were going to go for dinner. And I had just been like flipping through my pictures on my phone randomly at work, and I got as far back as January 8th, 2017, when I went to the Contemporary and took 8 million pictures for Julie at Cali Grill. But yes. And I'm looking at all these photos, and I'm like, this is where I want to go for our anniversary. This is where I want. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon, so clearly, like, it was never happening even if we were in Florida, but it was just, like, physically impossible, even if we could magically be transported in Florida, to go to brunch that evening. But I'm just like, this is what I want. This is where I want to go. Clearly, we did not.
Now, we're going to go over the menu items, and then we're going to tell you a little story about the menu.
So, in addition to your buffet, you get an entree.
Ooh, they have salmon with capers, eggs, and red onion.
What is listed on the menu currently is crispy fried chicken thigh, which is a Korean-style sweet and spicy sauce, house-made kimchi, and cilantro.
Blueberry pancakes with local blueberries, vanilla custard, blueberry compote, warm Canadian maple syrup.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds delicious.
It does.
Oh, they still have the carrot cake pancakes.
Yes. Vanilla bean French toast, Parker House bread, creme brulee custard, caramelized bananas, and walnuts.
The carrot cake pancakes, which had a cream cheese cream, maple bourbon syrups, and pecans.
Buttermilk pancakes with maple syrup.
Kind of speak for themselves.
Yes.
U10 shrimp, which are big shrimp.
Yes.
With basically what U10 means is you can get 10 of these in a pound.
Yes.
Which is
very large
big shrimp. So white Gulf shrimp with Gruyere, piquillo, pepper, antebellum, grits cake, and smoked paprika aioli. So I believe this is what replaced the shrimp and grits that they used to have, because it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, just a little different.
And then the shakshuka, which is served with an organic egg and house pita.
Mm-hmm. Eggs Benedict, which is 2 soft poached eggs, toasted English muffin, honey ham, classic hollandaise, additionally available with butter poached Maine lobster. They spelled Maine wrong. Maine lobster and smoked salmon, or smoked salmon.
I had it with the Maine lobster. We'll talk about what we had in a second, though. Then there is the chef's omelet selection, which is 3 eggs, marble, potato hash, Toscano vinaigrette, choice of garden, Spanish, alcace, or lobster omelet.
That sounds really tasty.
That sounds really good.
Grilled hanger steak, which is 2 eggs, any style, chimichurri, marble potato hash, charred red onion. When I got it, I think it just came with
some onions on top. It did have charred red onion on top.
Yeah, no, when I got it, it wasn't a hash. It was just some sliced tiny potatoes.
They're considering that a hash.
That makes sense. That was what I got one time, and it was delicious.
You got that when we went.
Okay, it's delicious.
So, here's what happened when Amy and I went. I wanted the lobster's eggs Benedict. Amy wanted the steak. But we really also wanted to try that vanilla bean French toast, and we really wanted to try the carrot cake pancakes. So he brought over a side order of each of them, which was basically like a full order of them. So we basically had 4 meals, and everything was delicious. And I gotta say, the maple bourbon syrup with the carrot cake pancakes were to die for.
And the vanilla bean French toast
Oh my gosh.
was amazing.
The vanilla bean French toast was so good.
So what we're trying to say is if you can't make up your mind, that probably won't be a problem. We can't guarantee it, but it probably won't be a problem.
That was just so magical. It was so absolutely delicious, everything. And we had like unlimited mimosas. Mimosa after mimosa after mimosa after mimosa. The bathrooms were really cool.
Yes.
The napkins, the like paper towels that they have, basically feel like cloth, but they are paper.
And they say California Grill
stamped on them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. I have one somewhere. We were there first thing. So it didn't really get super busy the whole time we were there. And so we'll probably never do this again. Not brunch there, but we probably won't spend as long at brunch.
Yeah, we probably won't do it 4 hours again.
Yes, so if you couldn't tell by the name of our episode, we spent 4 hours at this brunch.
Yeah, we weren't planning to spend 4 hours, but we basically gave ourselves that amount of time. Like, we didn't plan anything until like much later out in the afternoon to give us like full time to enjoy it.
No, that was a different day that we did behind the scenes. Never mind.
Yeah.
It was awesome. We made friends with the jazz band, so we were talking to them a lot, requesting lots of music. And it was just a really relaxing, we weren't rushed out. They didn't care that we were there for the full 4 hours. They let us enjoy our food, take our time with it. You could go back up for seconds if you wanted of the buffet line.
Fourths.
You could have 14 mimosas if you wanted to. We actually specifically asked for ones that were a little bit stronger, and he came back with them. And then once we made sure we got extra pulp.
Yes.
In it, and he accommodated us, and our waiter was amazing. Are you surprised that we can't remember his name?
We really need to get better at that. But yes, if I recall from the time I went without Julie, it also wasn't completely super busy at any point when we were there, and I think they do that on purpose. I think they know that some people are gonna like come in, go to the buffet area once, get their entree, finish it, get their little dessert thing that we haven't talked about yet, and then pop out, go to those parks. And then there's other people like us who are going to sit down and enjoy it and take our time. I feel like this is also a place like locals, like Florida locals will come to, not just like people staying on property, because it is a really nice brunch. I remember when we were there, I saw what had to be a table of like 20 people. And so, yes, clearly they could be hotel guests. And
they came after us and left before us.
Yeah. They could have been hotel guests, but there's also a good chance that it was like a big family reunion.
Yeah, I think it was at least 16, because it was 8 on each side.
Yeah, it was at least, I think it was more than that. But yeah, so it could have been a local, Florida family having a little reunion and going out for, a fancy breakfast. It's just a really nice place, and they don't pack it in the way that you might see other places, because they know that some people are going to take a long time, so they wanted to make sure they have enough tables and seats for like incoming guests later on in the service. It's just really amazing.
And even if it was packed, the tables are spread out enough that it would never feel packed.
Yeah, no, it could never. This restaurant could never feel packed the way that a lot of others can, because it's
wide open. It's literally a wall of windows.
Yes, yeah. So that,
and it's also just very large.
It's a signature restaurant. It just happens to be we're having breakfast at it. Or brunch, I should say. We're having brunch.
So you can use credits for this. It's 2 credits, right?
I think it's 2 credits. Let me look on the Disney website right now.
I don't remember if it's 2 credits or it's just
some dining plans accepted. Yes, it is brunch. Both brunch and dinner at the California Grill are 2 dining plan credits, so 2 table service credits. Whether you are regular dining plan or deluxe.
So what we did instead was we used our Tables in Wonderland card for a discount, and then we also got a gift card for not having room service.
Yes, they ask you if you want to participate in a no room service.
So basically how it works is they like come and empty your trash.
Yeah.
But they don't like turn down your beds every day and like clean everything, and then you get $10. Well, at like our resort, we got $10 for every day minus 1. and because that's the day that they have
Yeah.
to clean it. And then at moderates and deluxe
moderates, it's
restaurants,
15.
and then deluxe is 20 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't even know
But-
if they're doing deluxe anymore, but I know it worked out really well in the values.
Yes.
So,
So
they've been doing it.
definitely. So we had $90, $80. We had a lot of money on a gift card, and so we were able to use that. So I think dinner cost us $20 a piece. It was insane.
And by dinner, she means brunch.
So there is not a kids menu,
At least not listed online.
but actually, let me check and see because I did take a picture of the menu.
And if there isn't actually a kids menu, I wouldn't be surprised just because. So first off, it's a buffet, so they're
And
just gonna
usually,
grab-
the kids' meals are smaller portions, but it's just
Yeah.
one price across the board. Kids might be a little bit cheaper. Like ours, we got one piece of French toast and 2 pancakes versus 2 pieces of French toast and 4 pancakes. So
Yeah.
they might just give smaller servings and charge less for kids.
Yeah.
Or are kids even allowed?
Kids are allowed.
Oh yeah, there were some kids and some babies.
Yes. But yeah, they have blueberry pancakes, French toast, carrot cake pancakes, buttermilk pancakes, omelets, all sorts of stuff that, kids should in theory also be into.
Upon request, cherrywood bacon, house recipe sausage patties, and marble potato hash. Pretty sure we got a side of bacon.
Oh yeah. We definitely did. Because I remember getting it both times now that you bring up that there was cherrywood bacon.
So we got some really pretty pictures of Magic Kingdom and everything.
Oh, and that was the day I was with Karen, was the day I met the only redheaded musketeer from the
Yes,
remake.
I remember you were telling me about that.
His name was Chase.
So we got desserts. It was just one tray of desserts for the both of us, but
Let me see the photo.
it was... I'll send it to you. Hold on so you can
Oh,
see
no,
it
I
too.
got one. I got it. I want to see if it was bigger than the one I have here.
There was a chocolate bark that had almost granola ingredients on it. So there was some candied fruit, some slivered almonds, some currants. That was super delicious. There were 2 almost popover kind of pastry things that were filled with, one was filled with raspberry and one was filled with blueberry, and they had this really yummy glaze on top of them. There were 2 macarons, one was passion fruit and one was mango, I believe.
Yes, if I remember from the last time before that, they did have a bunch of different flavors of macaron. They just gave us one each.
And then they kind of look like Linzer cookies, but they're not,
They're like a thumbprint kind of cookie.
with some jam in the middle. And then these 2 chocolate half spheres, and one of those was passion fruit and one was just creamy dark chocolatey goodness.
They were both dark chocolate and delicious.
Well, yes, but I mean one of them had a dark chocolate filling and one of them had a passion fruit
No, I was just
filling.
saying they were both delicious.
And so that's what we had for dessert, and it was literally the perfect dessert ever because it was small, it wasn't too sweet, and it was
It's breakfast. You really don't need dessert, but you get dessert.
and it was just the perfect complement to the brunch.
So instead of the Linzer cookies, instead of the thumbprint Linzer-like cookies, we had Linzers. They were diamond-shaped and
And then it
very
looks like
beautiful.
your chocolates were teardrop shaped.
Yeah, well, one was round and one was teardrop-shaped.
Yeah, so basically they have a bunch of different desserts.
Mm-hmm.
They have different macarons, except those are the exact same flavors that we got. And then they have different chocolates, and they just kind of put 2 on
One
the
of
plate.
them's brown, Julie.
And ours was pink.
But yeah, they were the same macarons.
You
just,
Madeline's. We did not.
Yeah, we got Madeline's instead of the little pop-overy muffin things. It is the same bark. It's just flipped over in this picture for some reason. But I did ask them for 8 million more macarons, and they gave me 8 million more macarons.
It was cool because we took turns getting up and kind of waddling outside. There was this little girl who was practicing ballet, so I did a bar routine with her. I taught her a bar routine, so that was super cute.
That was after when we saw fireworks at night.
Oh yeah, that was. We spent the full 4 hours there, and not all of it was eating, though most of it was eating. But we also spent time hanging out with and talking to the guys that were at the jazz band and talking about where else they worked and requesting all the songs and making friends, and they loved us and we loved them. And their names were Harrison Light and Jerry Bravo. I'm giving you a shout out. You are the best jazz band ever, and I hope that the next time we're at the California Grill, you guys are there because you were so much fun and you just made that experience a bajillion times better for us.
Oh, yeah. They were saying how...
I remembered people's names!
High five!
It's because I friended them on Facebook.
I remember them saying how most people, when they would come up and request, wouldn't request Disney songs. Usually, it was usually play this Sinatra number, or play this other jazzy number. And I'm like, that's great,
But clearly they were just making Disney music into jazz music.
Yeah. And it was just kind of funny that they were saying that not as many people as you would think actually ask for Disney music.
That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
What song did I request for you?
Thank you for being a friend.
Was it from Peter Pan? There was
You Can Fly, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I asked them to play You Can Fly, and they did. And I was like, you don't have to play it quite so
They were not
up-tempo.
prepared for us requesting so many songs, because they
No.
definitely didn't have a lot of them. But even some of the ones that they didn't have, they like looked them up for us and played them for us. They were fantastic.
Yes.
So I guess that's really all we have to say about California Grill Brunch. Go. Try it. Eat
I know,
it. Love it.
It's really amazing, and I know it sounds kind of weird to say this because clearly we talk about restaurants, but it really speaks for itself. Like, it's very hard to describe just the overall experience because it's almost unique, but at the same time, it's something
Very classic, yeah.
It's like unique but classic at the same time. Like, I feel like food-wise would of course be different, but the Contemporary was put in the 1970s, and
it was the first resort, right?
It was
like Magic in a...
it was one of the it was like one of the big deal ones. I think Floridian, Grand Floridian, and Polynesian were both there as well, but it was one of the big fancy ones. But yeah, and I feel like you walk in and the experience feels like classic to like.
All of the waiters were insanely incredible, even from the hostess stand. They were all insanely nice, went out of their way.
The hostess stand, she remembered us like 9 hours later. Okay, it wasn't 9 hours later, but it was like 7 hours later.
Well, we got there at 10, and we only met her at 10.
Yeah,
and then we were back at 9 for fireworks, so it was almost 12 hours later.
Yeah, so it's just so amazing. It's a great place. We're going to do dinner there. We have dinner there this upcoming fall trip. We have dinner there. But brunch was amazing.
On the same day that we're doing beaches and cream.
Yes. Yes. So,
that's why we need two of you to help us finish the beaches and cream kitchen sinks, so we can enjoy our California Grill dinner.
Yes. It's going to be quite the fun time. I've never had California Grill dinner. We're going to. But I almost feel like that I'm still going to like prefer to do prefer to do brunch if that makes any sense, because it's just such a unique experience. It makes me feel like Jacqueline Kennedy.
Yes.
It makes me feel like Jacqueline Kennedy. Specifically Jacqueline Kennedy.
Absolutely. Jackie O.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like that, like, I'm having brunch with Jacqueline Kennedy in 1962 for some reason. But it makes me feel like I'm, having lunch with Jacqueline Kennedy. We're in New York City, even though it's Orlando. It's just amazing. I'm at like
on the Vineyard.
Oh yeah, it's
or
like
Newport.
Well, the thing is we're at the top of some like grand hotel in their restaurant, having this wonderful brunch, and we're drinking our mimosas.
It's bright. There's mimosas. We're getting like first class service.
It makes me feel like
a jazz band playing.
I'm really glad I came to that.
Yes.
Because that is just the best way to explain it. I feel like I'm Jacqueline Kennedy. If you want to feel like Jacqueline Kennedy, or your favorite presidential wife, or your favorite presidential wife, go to the California Grill Brunch.
Can you imagine if we go to dinner there and we're seated next to the Obamas?
That would be
the
cool.
dream. Oh my God, I would cry. That would be amazing. Or Abraham Lincoln just shows up.
Yes, Abraham Lincoln just randomly shows up. His animatronic.
No,
I know. I'm just
real Abraham Lincoln.
I know, but I'm amused by the thought of animatronic Abraham Lincoln getting up from his chair, but walking out of the Hall of Presidents, across Magic Kingdom,
to have dinner with us,
down the path to the Contemporary,
and then starting his 7 years ago speech, just sitting at dinner.
Yep, that's what I want.
That would be amazing. So overall, if you couldn't tell, we love it here.
It's amazing.
The food was incredible. The service was incredible. The atmosphere was incredible. The mimosas were incredible.
It was
worth every penny.
It gets the Jacqueline Kennedy seal of approval.
We don't know if it passes the Helen test. She hasn't been there.
She has not, but she would love it. She would absolutely love it. It passes the Karen test. Karen liked it. Although Karen admitted that the experience was more enjoyable watching me be really excited and happy. She's like, this is amazing food, and it's great, and I'm having a great time, but I feel like I'm getting the most enjoyment of watching you just like freak out over the food. I'm like, that's fair. That's fair.
And I remember on our trip in November, you guys booked that.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I was like, hey, let's do this.
All right, so that brings us to our fan favorite food.
I'm really excited about this one because I read it before. I don't always read them ahead of time. I let Julie surprise me, but she sent me this one, and it's amazing.
I couldn't resist. This one is awesome. So this one is from Therese Sigona. She put the phonetic spelling down. I still don't know if I pronounced it right. Sorry. But she says, Dear Julie and Amy, I am a huge Disney fangirl. I am also a pastry chef as well, though I went to a rival school. Don't hold that against me. Anyway, I did 2 Disney culinary programs and an internship program where you actually work in the bakeries and kitchens at Walt Disney World. After I completed my second program, I was hired full-time at the Boardwalk Bakery, which has a giant window where you can watch the bakers work. I have many, many food memories at Disney. It was hard to pick just one. While working at the Boardwalk, I was offered the opportunity to work with a group of chefs, managers, and other cooks to make a huge chocolate showpiece for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival's 20th year. As I go into this, and we will share these pictures, but I remember seeing this and loving this chocolate piece.
Yes.
And it's so cool that we now know the person who created it.
Yes, I remember this as well when reading it.
So, our theme was Avengers. The scene was the Avengers standing proud with a destroyed New York City in the background. I will attach some photos. I spent about 4 months painting the characters and the backgrounds in cocoa butter colors, which for those who do not know is not easy. My sous chef and I spent a lot of days together making sure we captured her vision and that the pieces looked authentic. It was a huge honor for me, especially for a baker just out of culinary school. It was also amazing to be able to go and see the other amazing showpieces in the convention center. Another thing was my boyfriend, now fiancé, congratulations, flew down for the opening of Food and Wine and to see my showpiece. While in Epcot during the festival, I got to overhear a lot of great comments about our showpieces and the other resort showpieces. I can't explain the feelings that rushed through me after so many months of work. When the showpiece came down after the Food and Wine Festival finished, my chef let me take home the plaque that was in the case with it. It currently sits in my home studio in a place of honor. I hope to, at some point, get it framed with the pictures of the showpiece. This will always be one of my favorite Disney food memories. I also want to thank both of you for your podcast. It makes me miss basically living at Disney and running around eating all the delicious food there was on my days off. Love always, Therese Sigona.
Thank you, Therese. That was probably one of my favorite fan memories so
Ever?
far.
So, one, I don't know if you've seen in any of my pictures, but I have a full Marvel sleeve. So,
You do?
Not you, I'm talking to the fans.
I know, but you were staring right at me.
I know. So, the fact that the chocolate piece that you worked on was my favorite one from that festival is just so cool. And I'm super jealous that you got to work at Disney in one of the Disney bakeries and that you got to participate in this. But that is just such an awesome experience. And thank you so much for sharing it with us because as pastry chefs, we can appreciate the hard work and effort that went into that.
Yes. All the chocolate pieces every year have been absolutely wonderful, absolutely gorgeous. Sometimes, as is the nature of chocolate work, by the time we get there at the end of the festival and they've been around for like 3 months, a couple of little tiny pieces have fallen off, but they're always just so beautiful.
My second favorite was the Beauty of the Beast one from this past year.
Yeah, that one was excellent.
Because I'm pretty sure they made the stained glass.
Mm-hmm.
Stained glass.
But no, that was we love to hear more from you. So if you haven't already, join the group and let us know your thoughts on Disney food things, as you have a unique perspective.
So if you want to share your Disney food memory with us, please send it to onelittlespice@gmail.com or share it on our Facebook page on the pinned post at the top of our page. We are on social media, so follow us there. On Instagram, we are at @1_little_spice. On Twitter, we are at @1littlespice. On Facebook, we are at @1littlespice. And then we also have the One Little Spice group where we have discussions and talk about all sorts of fun Disney food stuff outside of the podcast. So that's where you can kind of join in the conversations. We'd love to have you there. We are on Patreon. Right now, we are doing a 9-part series on the Food and Wine Festival. So we're getting in depth with all the booths and all the food at all the booths and some other little fun tips and tricks. So if you are interested in that and want to hear all about food and wine and prepare yourself for that, please go to www.patreon.com/onelittlespice and choose your support level. We have some other really awesome exclusives like a pin set and you being able to host a magical snack corner with us and some other really awesome things as well. We're on TeePublic, so if you'd like One Little Spice t-shirts or sweatshirts, mugs, coffee cup, cell phone cases, that is where you're going to get them and show your One Little Spice pride there. And we're on YouTube. Search The Taste Lab. That's us. We make Disney recipes or recreate them in our kitchen to be able to bring you some Disney magic into your kitchen. We have done Le Cellier's cheddar cheese soup and the vegetable terrine from Akershus. We have a 7-vegetable couscous from Morocco, the Cobb salad from the Brown Derby, and this month we are making Tonga toast from the Kona Cafe, as well as some French press Kona coffee.
I'm really excited.
If you have any questions, comments, or anything you want to share with us, please email us at onelittlespice@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, and just remember, every recipe starts with one little spice. Welcome to episode 18. I don't remember what we're calling this one.
4-hour breakfast, I just told you.
Brunch.
4-hour brunch, I just told you.
Is it called the 4-hour brunch?
You wrote the words! They're good words! Read them!
Can you hear me now? Oh, why is it still... Why is it still happening? Hello? Hello? Remember that time when I could hear myself talking? I feel like I can still hear myself talk. Hello? 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 Oh my god. Alright, it's fixed.